And to shed more light on this issue, we are delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Soad Shalaby, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good evening.
Good evening.
We are glad to have you with us on Nile TV International. Your Excellency, Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati stressed that Egypt attaches great importance to the African file, considering it one of the main pillars of the Egyptian foreign policy. Would you please shed more light on this issue?
Yes, of course. Egypt's foreign policy is mainly focusing on strengthening strategic partnerships with African countries, whether it is economic integration, peace and security, or trade and investment. So Dr. Badr Abdelati, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt, is supporting the issues that are based on peace initiatives in different parts of Africa, like Horn of Africa, Sahel, and Nile Basin countries. And in general, there are bilateral and multilateral talks during different conferences and between and African countries.
Yes, Your Excellency, the Foreign Minister also highlighted Egypt's keenness to strengthen African relations on the basis of partnership, integration and mutual benefit. How do you assess Egypt's efforts in this file during the last decade?
Yes, of course, regional integration is important for Egypt because it's encouraging the leveraging of the African continental free trade and increasing the exports and increasing the trade with all African countries, whether it is by sea or by air or under the umbrella of COMESA. So it is important that Egypt reaches the African countries through the trading and investments.
Yes, Egypt is really keen to attract more investors and present more incentives for investors to attract more investors. So what else can the state do to boost its existence and influence in the African continent?
Of course, prioritizes the private sector, and it encourages the private sector of Egypt to deepen the trade, to increase the trade from 9.9 billion volume, which was reached in 2024. So it is possible that we can increase it in 2026 by doubling this figure, by cooperating in the field of energy or infrastructure or construction, in agriculture and in health. By investing in these fields, Egypt is easily going to increase the volume of trade.
So Abdelati also emphasized the importance of boosting economic cooperation with African countries. You mentioned some of these fields of cooperation, but how do you see the future of trade and economic cooperation with the African countries?
Well, it is important to highlight that there has been several funding mechanisms that has been created between Egypt and Africa, especially with the with the banks, the African banks, Exim Bank, and other banks that are covering and guaranteeing the investments of Egypt in Africa. Also, the possibility of building dams and also infrastructure, building roads and model communities, model buildings, and this is an initiative that has been started in Tanzania, for instance, as a model for partnership by building the hydropower project. So there are lots of abilities with Nile Basin countries for capacity building, also the technical training and the capacity building for the African cadets via the Egyptian Agency of Partnership for Development, which is part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Egypt. So there are fields that could be strengthened in order to reach the economic integration, as we mentioned before, and also to boost the private sector trade and invest in the infrastructure, and also to support the peace initiatives in the different parts, especially in West Africa, in Horn of Africa, in the Sahel region, and in Nile Basin countries. All these are very important regions that present a strategic importance for Egypt, and Egypt plays a central role in reinforcing its relations with.
Yes, that's true. Thank you so much, Your Excellency Ambassador Soad, Shalaby, Assistant Foreign Ministers. And dear viewers, we'll have a short break and we'll be right back.